Hello, everyone. In this session, we are going to do some basic introduction about using SAS on demand for academics. So, as you see that now, I am in the welcome.oda.sas.com. After that, I'm going to sign in. In your case, you're going to sign up using credentials. Also, I'm going to accept the term and conditions. So, sign in. After that, I'm going to launch. And what I'm going to do today, I'm going just to use a very basic limited features of SAS on demand. I'm not going to explain everything. So the idea is I don't want to go over tools or items or things that we are not going to use, or probably for now at least. SAS on demand is point and click tool or software now. I don't think we are going to use coding here, and I'm not going to explain every single feature of this huge software. So I'm going just to use the minimum and the basics and the ones that we are going to use in every week. So at the beginning, once you sign in, we care about what is happening in the left right now. So we have many windows. We have two windows, one on the left, one on the right. So the one on the right, we have three things: code, log, results. We care about the results. We don't care about the code. Log, sometimes we look at it if we have issues with the results. So I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to touch this one now. What we care about is the thing on the left. So we have this guy, this window here. We have server files and folders. We have tasks and utilities. This is the one that we're going to use the most. And we have the libraries. These are three things that you're going to use. I don't think I'm going to use this and that one. So server files and folders. So the first thing to do is the very basic stuff that we are going to create a folder for the class. So it's a good idea that you create folder for the class. You just go to files, right click, new folder. So I'm going to call, I already have one MTH752. So I'm going to say this one is 752 training. You can leave spaces, that's fine. I mean, you can leave spaces, etc. You give it any name. I suggest to have a unique convention, which is this MTH752 or whatever. So this is my folder, it's empty. So the first step is to import data to this folder. Very simple. So I'm going to bring data into this folder. So right click, upload files. So I'm going to choose the files. My file is going to be pharmacy.xlsx, upload. This is my file. It's inside my folder. That makes sense. So the way SAS works now, SAS doesn't touch the original data set. So when you do any processing in your data, SAS works with a different data set. So in this case, what we're going to do, what is the different? It's taken this data into a library and create a copy of this data. This is happening internally. So the question is what to do next. To make it easy, to do next, I suggest to go to libraries. Look at the libraries. We have many of them. I would like to create a library. I'm going to call it my lib. And I'm going to use the path. The path is going to be our class that we created. Select, then OK, then OK. So if you look at the libraries, you're going to see my lib is here. It's empty now. Now I go back to the server files and folders. I go back to the pharmacy here, double click. Double click, this is the way that we are preparing the file, the data file, to be processed and ready to do some analytics on it in SAS. So before that, we cannot do anything. We have to do this step, which is double click, get this source file ready. So we have the source file that lives here. If the source file contains more than one sheet, it's going to select the first sheet, or by default, unless you give it a name, because every sheet is a separate data set. It's a complete table. It's a complete different table. So in our case, in my case, because I know that I have only one sheet, then I'm going to leave this empty. Now this is going to be taken to the output data, and this is the file that is going to be used when we do analytics. What we care about two things: the name of the file The default now is import and the library where this new file is going to live. I'm going to change this. I'm going to call it pharma. And I don't want this to live temporarily in the library work. I would like this to live in my lib. So I'm going to select my lib for the library. Then I'm going to save this. After saving, look at the options. The file type, leave it default. And do we ask SAS to generate the variable names that works with SAS? Yes. After we finish, we have to run. So this is an important stuff that we do. Run. If you do all of this without running, nothing is going to happen. So I'm going to run this. After running, we have another screen appears down there that contains code log results output data. We will see the results. We will be talking about this later, by the way. If you care about going to the log, go. That tells you whether you have warnings and errors. In this case, we don't. The most we focus on having errors. If you have errors, so we will not have a complete result. We'll have issues with the results. So now the question is, where is the data? If you want to read this now, fine, but I'm going to leave this for now. Now the question is, what happens? What happens is the SAS created another data set, a copy of our data set, the name that we use, which is pharma, but the extension is not XLSX. It's another extension. This is SAS dataset. This is SAS. This is the file that says do processing. This is the file that data is going to work on. Okay. So it is already inside our folder that we created. So now if I actually go to libraries again and look at my lib, we're going to see the pharma inside this one, which is the file that we're going to work on. If you double click now, we are going to see the file, okay, which is the output data. We have pharmacy, we have sales, so these are the headers. The data starts from here. This number one observation until 22. It's obvious that we have issues with 21 and 22. So the last observation is 20. We have 20 pharmacies, we have sales, and etc. So one of the things that we want to do is it's clear that we're going to delete these last two. On the left, we see the columns. And if you click in one of the columns, you're going to see the property, value, label, pharmacy, name pharmacy. So the name has the same as the label. And the type, which is the one that we care about, it's a numeric value. If you want to print this, if you'd like to, if you want to print this, you can just print this from here. It's a printed table. You can do refresh here. If you did something, you want to refresh. But now this table is ready to do some processing now. So what I'm going to do now, is going to the tasks and utilities. Again, I'm going to minimize speaking about things that we are not going to use, but you are free to try. Try, click on this and click on that, see what's happening, and select one of them. Do whatever you want to learn. But anyway, now let's go to the tasks and utilities. At the beginning, what we are going to do, we're going to look at we are going to explore the data. And this is the most important step at the beginning. We have to know how many variables we have, how many rows, how many observations we have, and how many missing values if we have actually, and so on. So, and other types of stuff. So we want to know the types of the variables, whether they are characters or numeric, etc. Someone's going to tell me, oh, from here we can do it. Yes, correct. But this is not comprehensive. You have to do it one by one. But we have to go to the list table attributes. So double click on this. So at the beginning, we have to locate the data. Our data lives in my lib, which is pharma. Double click. So we brought the data in. Okay. After that, I'm going to go to the options. Dataset attributes, yes, we need this. Variables list, yes. The order is alphabetic, that's fine. If you want to change it, change it. Directory information, there is no need. Do we need to create output dataset for the attributes? No need to do that. If you would like to have that, you can do this. You have to give it a name, etc. But there's no need to do that. So after that, I'm going to run. So remember what we got? We got something that we got at the beginning when we already extracted the data set to SAS data set. We got these guys. So now we see them again. And this is important because you know the data set name, which is important. We know the time that we created this. Also, we know the observations, how many observations we have, how many variables we have. And these are other stuff. I don't want to talk about them right now. Also, another table which is important, which is the variables that we have and the order of these variables where they live. This is number three. This is number one, pharmacy. This is number one in the table. This is number two in the table. And all of the data are numeric data, and the labels of the variables are the same of the the name of the variables, which is okay as well. The other thing that we noticed, by the way, look at the tabs here. Every tab you created still lives these. So anything that you finish, for example, this one, you're done, so you can't close it. You're gonna save it, but there's no point of saving this. Don't save. And I want to close this because this is empty. Program one. Now, we know that we have issues with our data, but still we can, if you have big data, I mean, there is no time for you to look at individual data. So I'm going to, now okay, now I have this table or these two tables. What kind of things that I can do? Now I suggest for you, because if you want to report this to someone and you need these two tables, you can save them to Word or PDF. Word is the best because you're going to collect multiple tables and put them at the end in one report. So you can download this as Word. So this is download as RTF file, which is Word document. This is PDF. This is HTML, and this is a print. If you want to print them, and this opens the in a new browser tab. So you can just click and download. I'm not going to do this now. Next step, because I know that there's a missing value, so I'm going to look at describe missing values. Again, my data is already chosen, which is okay. Then I'm going to look at all of the variables properly. Do I need to do all of them? I mean, if you care about missing values in everyone, yes. Information, we have nothing here, so I run this guy. So we do have missing values for the cells. There's a missing value too. We have missing value for the pharmacy, which is just one missing value. We have two, two, two. So all of them, we have two missing values, the percentage of the missing value for the non-missing. And we see it. If you go back here, we know that everyone contains two, except the first one that has only one. And this value doesn't make any sense because it's not 21 or 22. It's just pharmacies, number of the pharmacies, one, two, three up. These are just counting. So here we know that we have missing values. So we know the locations. We know where are they. I mean, where exactly the cells we have to. So what we do next, we can do, I'm going to close this. If you want to print it out again or download it, you can do so. But not because I know that. I'm going to close this. And I'm going to filter the data. I'm going to filter. I'm going to close this as well. I'm going to do filtering of the data. I mean, do filtering is you can choose anyone. At least I know that the cells contains two missing values, so I'm going to take them off. I'm going to, okay, now I'm not saying that if you have missing values, that means that you have to take them off. No, I'm not saying this. In analytics, sometimes we keep the missing values or we do something called mutations. Sometimes we have to put some values into the missing values. But this is not our topic now. Our topic now is how to take these off because it's clear that we have only 20 pharmacies, not 22 actually. So I'm going just to choose the cells. You can choose any others cells, and I'm going to keep everything not equal to the dot, because the missing value for the numeric is dot actually. And by the way, while we are doing, there's code that appears here. I mean, don't bother. But anyway, so what's happening here? I'm going to filter out these dots. So after that, we're going to look at the output data set. So where these changes will be saved. I mean, the new data set is going to be saved on the same data set or a new data set. So the output data set is going to be, by default, will be saved into the work library dot. By the way, any name that comes before the dot is going to be the library name. So in the work library. The name of the file is filter0001, and we can change this one. So I'm going to change this one, and I would like to change it to my lib. I'm going to call it cleaned data. Then I'm going to run. So now we have all the observations from 1 to 20. If I go to libraries, my lib, I see that I have my pharma, the one that contains 22, two missing values of observations and rows, two extra rows. This one contains the cleaned one. If you click on that one, you're going to find it here. Now the question is, what happens if you go back to files and folders? Files and folders, you'll see everything we have done. Clean data is the last one. This is the one that we already started with. This is the original one. This is the SAS copy one. This is the cleaned one. The question is, do I need all of them? It's important to keep the original one, but there is no need to have this, for example, now, because we have that one, but not ideal to delete everything. So it's a good idea that you give names to every data set that you work at and give it meaningful name. So now if I go back to tasks and utilities, so now we did that. I'm not going to do anything else. We can do sorting, by the way. We will be using other features once we need them. But now I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close this. Don't save. And I'm going to do something. I'm going either to sign out, or I'm going to reset this session. So like starting from scratch, I'm going to reset the sessions. If you reset the sessions, if you start again, if you log out and sign in again, and you go to the server files and folders, you'll see your stuff are here. That's fine. If you go to the libraries, you'll not see my lib. So what we have to do next time you sign in, the first thing to do is you already have your data, the original data, and you have the SAS data. So there's no need to double click now. There's no need to do that. So what I'm going to do next step, next time you sign in, you go to libraries, you define my lib, you go to the path of your folder, click OK, OK. Then your data is already ready to be processed, to be analyzed. Now it's in my lib. We have both SAS data sets. So double click on the clean data. This is my data. Now we can do next step, which is if you want to do analytics, some graphing, some descriptive statistics. So now this is everything for today. I hope this is clear. Thank you.